A very good morning. This presentation is brought to you by Resonate International with the mission to leverage knowledge worldwide. The topic today is Rise Up Mother Continent Africa. Let's look at Africa and understand it in summary as a background. Africa, nicknamed Mother Continent, is the world's second largest and second most populous continent after Asia, comprising 54 independent and sovereign nations, largest being Algeria and smallest being Seychelles. Ethiopia is the oldest independent country in Africa and one of the oldest in the world. Africa covers 20% of Earth's land area. It has the world's largest desert, Sahara, and the longest river, Nile. With population of 1.4 billion plus, Africa accounts for about 18% of the world's humanity. There are 1250 to 3000 native languages. Demographically, Christianity accounts for about 49%, Islam about 42%, and traditional faiths around 8% plus 1% others. Most of world's diamonds come from Africa, and 70% of world's cocoa beans production comes from here. Average GDP per capita is around 2000 plus US dollars. Mauritius claims the top spot as the richest country in Africa with a GDP per capita of 31,000 plus US dollars. Lagos in Nigeria is the largest city in Africa. The largest reserves of cobalt, diamond, platinum and uranium in the world are in Africa. Africa holds 65% of the world's arable land and 10% of the planet's internal renewable freshwater sources. In most African countries, natural capital accounts for between 30 to 50% of total wealth. South Sudan is the youngest nation in Africa, gaining independence in 2011. African nations typically fall towards the bottom of any list measuring small size economic activity, such as income per capita or GDP per capita, despite a wealth of natural resources. Africa is the poorest continent with 22 of the 26 low-income economies as per the World Bank. Burundi is the poorest country not only in Africa but also in the world, with Somalia close behind. Just for comparison, Luxembourg's GDP per capita of $118,356, which is the world's highest, was over 150 times that of Burundi's $771. The objective of giving above introduction is to have a little idea about this wonderful continent which we are in the process of discussing in greater detail. The foreign aid to Africa has been a critical source of funding for infrastructure development projects, humanitarian assistance, healthcare and education, and for climate change mitigation and sustainable development objectives. There has been a steady increase from $52 billion in 2018 to approximately $60 billion in 2023. Major donors include the United States, the European Union, and various international organizations. Foreign direct investment has been a vital driver of economic growth in Africa, contributing to job creation in extractive industries, telecommunication, financial services, infrastructure projects, financial services in the renewable energy area, agriculture, manufacturing, digital economy, and technology transfer. Overall growth has been from $45 billion in 2018 to around $54 billion in 2023. Third, trade is a crucial component of Africa's economic landscape, with exports largely driven by natural resources and imports comprising manufactured goods and technology. Looking at last 5-year trend, in 2018, the exports were $485 billion and the imports were $490 billion. 5 years later, in 2013, the exports stand at $510 billion while imports stand at $520 billion. Africa's economy was recovering from COVID-19 pandemic in 2022. However, internal and external shocks such as adverse weather conditions, locust invasions, and Russian invasion of Ukraine, all this worsened inflation rates and borrowing costs. The war in Ukraine indirectly impacted Africa through higher commodity prices, food, fuel, and healthcare inflation. Key economies like South Africa and Nigeria faced low growth and debt burdens. Geopolitical competition in Africa intensified among great powers, China, Russia, the US, and the EU, and middle powers like Turkey, Japan, and Gulf states. The African Union EU summit aimed at a new partnership, but the Russian invasion of Ukraine disrupted these ambitions. Japan pledged $30 billion in aid for Africa, influenced by China's $40 billion pledge at the China-Africa summit. The US strengthened its partnership with Africa through a second US-Africa Leaders Summit. China's Belt and Road Initiative continues. Chinese private sector investments persist in Africa. With this background, let's also understand the current state of affairs in Africa a bit more closely, going into 4 macros. A. The economic growth and development. Africa's economic landscape is diverse, with varying growth rates across its 54 countries. According to the African Development Bank, the continent's GDP growth rate was projected at 3.4% in 2023, with East Africa leading at 5.1%. Key drivers of growth include technological advancements, increased foreign direct investment, and improved infrastructure. The technological advancements in Africa are interesting, with cities like Nairobi, Lagos, and Cape Town becoming innovation hubs. The rise of mobile money platforms like M-Pesa in Kenya has revolutionized the financial inclusion. Africa's tech startups are getting increasing venture capital, highlighting investor confidence in the sector. The foreign direct investment flows to Africa have increased substantially, exceeding $97 billion, driven by investments in renewable energy, infrastructure, and digital technology. Countries like Egypt, Nigeria, and South Africa are major FDI recipients. The infrastructure development in Africa has shown significant progress, particularly in transportation and energy. Projects like the African Union's Program for Industrial and Infrastructure Development in Africa aims to enhance connectivity and support economic integration. Point B is on social change and human development. Africa's social landscape is evolving rapidly with improvements in health, education, and gender equality, though regional disparities abound. Life expectancy in Africa has increased from 50 years in 2000 to about 65 years now. However, the continent still grapples with health challenges such as malaria, HIV/AIDS, and the recent COVID-19 pandemic. On the education front, school enrollments have risen, with primary school enrollment reaching 80% in many countries. Initiatives like the African Union's Continental Education Strategy aims to improve educational outcomes and skill developments to meet the demands of the modern economy. On gender equality also, Africa has shown remarkable progress. Women's participation in the workforce and politics is increasing. Countries like Rwanda and Namibia lead in gender equality with high female representation in their parliament. Point C is on geopolitical dynamics. Africa's geopolitical landscape is marked by both cooperation and conflict. Regional organizations like the African Union play a crucial role in mediating conflicts and fostering integration. Despite overall progress, conflicts in the region like the Sahel, the Horn of Africa, and parts of Central Africa persist. Issues such as terrorism, ethnic tensions, and political instability are grave. The African Continental Free Trade Area, launched in 2021, is a landmark initiative aimed at creating a single market for goods and services across the African continent. It has the potential to boost intra-African trade by 52.3% by the year 2025, thus fostering. The fourth point, D, is on environmental and climate change. Africa is highly vulnerable to climate change, despite continuing the least to global greenhouse gas emissions. Climate impacts such as droughts, floods, and desertification threaten food security and livelihoods. Africa is leveraging its vast renewable energy potential, particularly solar and wind. Countries like Morocco, Kenya, and South Africa are leading in renewable energy projects aiming to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and enhance their energy security. Efforts to protect biodiversity and promote sustainable development are gaining traction in Africa. Initiatives like the Great Green Wall aim to combat desertification and restore degraded lands across the Sahel Desert. This has been a micro level view of Africa. Going further micro, let's look at nations with huge potential to lead the continent forward. Nigeria, Africa's largest economy, driven by oil and gas exports. Heavy reliance on oil, economic diversification is required. It faces significant security issues, including Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast and conflicts between farmers and herders in other parts. High population growth with a young demographic, but also very high unemployment rates and poverty levels. High levels of corruption affecting governance and development. South Africa, Africa's most industrialized nation, but struggling with slow growth and high unemployment, touching today about 34%, and huge inequality. Political unease, corruption scandals, and governance challenges significantly restrict the progress overall. Also, in healthcare and education, though there has been progress, but social inequalities persist. High crime rates and social unrest are abundant. Egypt, a diverse economy with significant contributions from tourism, agriculture, and the Suez Canal. Stable under current president, high literacy rates, and improving health indicators, though high level of poverty and economic disparities remain. There has been crackdown on political dissent, there is limited political freedom, and threats from terrorist groups in the Sinai Peninsula do exist. Kenya, East Africa's largest economy, driven by agriculture, tourism, and tech sector. Relative political stability, though occasionally marred by electoral violence. Improving healthcare and education systems, but significant urban-rural divide and poverty exists. Austerity measures currently on as political and economic systems are under tremendous strain. Persistent corruption issues affecting public trust and development. Rwanda, rapid economic growth with a focus on services and technology, stable under current president, though criticized for limited political freedoms. Significant improvements in healthcare, education, and gender equality, is considered as safest country in Africa. Morocco, diverse economy with strengths in agriculture, tourism, and manufacturing. A relatively stable monarchy with recent constitutional reforms, high literacy rates, and improving healthcare, though regional inequalities persist. Senegal, a growing economy with a focus on agriculture, mining, and services, stable democracy with regular peaceful elections, progress in education and healthcare, though poverty and unemployment remain challenges. Angola, rich in oil and diamonds but struggling with economic diversification. Political stability under current president exists with efforts to combat corruption. High levels of poverty and inequality with significant infrastructural needs. Uganda, agriculture-based economy with emerging oil sector, politically stable with unease though existing, high population growth with efforts to improve education and healthcare systems. These have been the nations which are the growth drivers for Africa. Unfortunately, Africa too has many trouble spots. Let us look at these nations. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, the ongoing armed conflicts in the eastern regions, severe humanitarian issues, including displacements and food insecurity, weak state institutions, and rampant corruption. Ethiopia, ongoing conflict in the Tigray region, causing humanitarian crisis, rising ethnic tensions and violence in various regions. Somalia, weak central government and political instability, persistent threat from Al-Shabaab militants, severe droughts leading to food insecurity and displacement. South Sudan, ongoing civil conflict is causing humanitarian crisis, fragile peace agreement and governance issues, high levels of displacement, food insecurity and poverty. Mali, terrorism and insurgency in the northern and central regions, military coups and fragile political situation, displacement and food insecurity due to ongoing conflicts. Burkina Faso, rising terrorist attacks and insurgency in the Sahel region, significant internal displacement due to violence, challenges in maintaining political stability amid security concerns. Cameroon, crisis in the northwest and southwest regions, Boko Haram attacks in the far north region, displacement and human rights abuses related to conflicts. Mozambique, Islamist insurgency in the Cabo Delgado province, displacement and destruction due to conflict, need for economic diversification and infrastructure development persists. Sudan, fragile political transition post the revolution, ongoing violence in Darfur and other regions, severe economic challenges including inflation and unemployment. Horn of Africa, suffering from one of the worst droughts in memory. Libya and Central African region. Russian paramilitary group Wagner's military support has been curtailed due to international sanctions now. Otherwise, these areas were also very badly affected. The above trouble spots highlight the critical issues that need resolution to ensure stability, peace, and development in these countries. Having gone through all above, let's understand where the international community must look at and help Africa. The first is insufficient economic support and fair trade practices towards Africa. While the foreign aid is essential, it often fosters dependency rather than sustainable development. Aid can be unpredictable and sometimes tied to donor interests rather than recipients' need. Africa faces significant trade barriers in global markets, including tariffs and subsidies that disadvantage African products. These practices hinder the continent's ability to compete fairly and benefit fully from its exports. The second area to look at is inadequate response to conflicts and instability in Africa. The international community has often been slow to intervene in African conflicts, such as in the Central African Republic, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. In many cases, responses are reactive rather than proactive, leading to prolonged crises and sufferings. UN peacekeeping missions in Africa often suffer from underfunding, inadequate mandates, and lack of resources, limiting their effectiveness in maintaining peace and security. The third area to look at is climate change and environmental neglect. Despite contributing the least to global greenhouse gas emissions, Africa is disproportionately affected by climate change. Promised international climate finance has often been insufficient and delayed, hindering the continent's ability to adapt and mitigate climate impacts. International corporations involved in resource extraction in Africa have sometimes engaged in practices that cause environmental harm with limited accountability or support for local communities. The fourth area to look at is health and pandemic response. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Africa faced significant challenges in accessing vaccines. Wealthier nations prioritized their own populations, leading to delays and shortages in vaccine distribution to African countries. International support for African healthcare systems has often been inconsistent. Despite various initiatives, many countries still lack the infrastructure and resources needed to tackle major health challenges effectively. The fifth point is on education and capacity building. Global financial support for education in Africa has been inadequate, affecting the quality of education and access to schooling, especially in rural areas. There has been insufficient effort to curb the brain drain, where skilled professionals migrate from Africa to more developed countries, thus depriving the continent of critical talent needed for its own development. The next point on this is economic exploitation and inequality. International companies have often exploited Africa and its natural resources without fair compensation or investment in local communities. This has perpetuated poverty and hindered sustainable development. Many African countries are burdened by debt, often as a result of unfavorable loan conditions from international lenders. This limits their ability to invest in development and social services. The seventh critical area is governance and corruption. The international community has sometimes been inconsistent in addressing governance and corruption issues, supporting such regimes that align with their interests while neglecting democratic principles. Efforts to strengthen governance and institutional capacity have often been piecemeal, failing to create sustainable and accountable systems. The last is the technological divide. Africa faces significant challenges in accessing modern technology and internet connectivity. International efforts to bridge the digital divide have been insufficient, limiting opportunities for innovation and growth in Africa. Summarizing all above, While Africa faces numerous challenges, its potential for growth and development is undeniable. The continent's young population, technological advancements, and regional cooperation are key drivers of its future prosperity. Continued investments in health, education, and infrastructure, along with efforts to address climate change and conflicts, will be crucial in unlocking Africa's full potential. In conclusion, Africa, often referred as the continent of the future, is experiencing a transformative phase marked by significant economic growth, social change, and geopolitical shifts. Despite long-standing challenges, Africa's potential remains vast, driven by its young population, abundant natural resources, and increasing integration into the global economy. The world's engagement with Africa has often been characterized by a mix of benevolence and exploitation, with many initiatives failing to address the root causes of the continent's challenges. A more equitable and sustainable approach is needed, focusing on fair trade, climate justice, health equity, education, and good governance. All this requires a commitment to long-term partnerships, respect for African agency, and alignment of global efforts with the continent's own development goals. Africa's journey is a testament to resilience and opportunity. The world must turn its focus back to this dynamic continent. Good luck, Africa. Rise up, take charge, bring in the needed individual corrections, hold each other's hand, and then strive hard towards peace and prosperity by choosing a path of sustainable growth and development for your citizenry as a whole. Very best wishes. Thank you for listening.